Hey guys, it's Girl Got Game. Welcome back to Kyoto Wins. I am so excited because it is time for the true demon's route, Chikage Kazama. I just can't wait. He's just been steadily going up in my favor as time's gone on. And yeah, I'm excited to get into his route for real. Let's get this trainer rolling, because we're gonna have to skip through some things again. So, explain my situation, apparently, is what we need to do. So, I was trying to think when would we first meet him. Let's see. I wasn't a boy. Yeah, I'm like... oh, that gong, though. Yeah, so I think we meet him at the inn, right? I thought maybe it was when we went to war against the Choshu, but I think we do meet... like, we met him on Soji's route there first. I think that's the only time we've ever ran into him there. So I don't know if we have to do a little bit of Soji stuff to run into him, or if we avoid that, or if there's a I couldn't remember if there's a different option. There might have been, because I distracted him, right? On Soji's... wasn't there an option to distract or not to distract or something like that? I can't remember. And I can't remember if the inn thing happens in the first chapter or the second chapter. If it's the second chapter, we've got to, like, fly through the first chapter pretty quickly. And I'm trying to figure out how to play to Cosmo's likes. Okay, I'm staying put. Having tea with Kodo. Not Kodo. Not Kodo. Kondo. Eesh. Yeah, don't want to have tea with Kodo. Yeah, like, based on... okay, hold on. Wow, I had no idea, Kondo. Very interesting. Yeah, based on the limited interactions we've had with Chikage so far, just the options that have come up when he's been around have seemed to indicate, like, he likes aggression a little bit. Because I know whenever Toshi and him sparred, and I was doing Toshi's route, I'd always, like, take a step back and trust that Toshi could take care of things. But the other option was always something like, draw your sword, fight back, something along those lines. So I'm like, okay, maybe he likes a girl who wants to try and take care of herself. Demon guys in general seem to have a high opinion of demon women. That's what I've gathered so far from the other routes. He's been trying to kidnap her, but the other demon guys have been like, you need to step back, sir, on several occasions. And even him, he's been like, I'm fighting against the system. Okay. I don't think I ask you to help, right? No. I don't want to be too ingrained into the Shinsengumi way of life. That's the other thing, right? We've been at odds the entire time. So I'm gonna have to leave the Shinsengumi again at some point. We did that already the last route. Got a taste of it. But I don't know if we're gonna leave a little earlier. Am I staying behind? Yes. We're not gonna leave, because we don't want to get affection with any of y'all. Except this guy. He's fine. He's a tough nut. Okay. Yeah, chapter 1. Nothing happens with Kazama. I kind of thought so. Yeah, this picture, that's at the inn with Soji when we run into Chikage. So I don't know if we're gonna do a similar thing or if there was another option there. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out... well, at least for the first few options, it'll basically be the opposite choice of whatever I've made before, right? Because the other option will be highlighted in blue and like, oh yeah, I got affection with Soji here, I got affection with Toshi here, I got affection with... I don't know, insert random Shinsengumi member here when it could have been Kazama. Am I leaving or remaining? Leaving. Okay, that does mean I think that I'm going to go to the inn later. Oh, right, because I kind of ruined the whole undercover stuff going on here. Whoops. Okay. So, yeah, we're gonna go to the inn. I should be running into him. It'll be interesting. See what happens. I'm ready for my pictures with this boy, too. We've gotten a couple of them. He looks great in them all. Very intimidating. I'm just trying to picture, like, a sweet CG? I don't know if we'll get that in the first part of this game, either. Will it be more of a slow burn thing with Chikage? Will it be quicker than I would have expected? I'm just here for Amagiri and Shiranui to roast him basically over and over. That's all I really want from this route. Just give me more Amagiri and Shiranui because they're fantastic. Man, it's been ages since I've done this side of the end story. Usually I'm like staying behind, Sana's giving me orders to run with Yamazaki, and then I hang out with Toshi while he's being awesome. Okay. Look for Okito? No, scope things out. Okay. Thanks, Shin. Oh, right. I forgot this other option when I was on Shin's route. Okay. I'm going upstairs. Right away. Now, do I skip? No. Okay. I haven't seen this before. Nagakora's encouragement allowed me to push forward up the stairs. I made it to the second floor, weary in the moment. The musty scent of blood filled my nostrils, like a metallic tang bitterly stinging my face as the screams of men echoed around me. And I collapsed? Without a second thought, I opened the nearest sliding doors and ran in the room. Was this what battle was like? The grim reality sunk into me, and I shivered at the thought. The adrenaline from earlier was slowing. I was alone and very much afraid for my life. This room, too, seemed to be the only untouched reprieve from the stench of fresh blood. I calmed my ragged breath, and I took a keen look around my surroundings. And what did you see? Oh, you're just chilling in a window? Getting some fresh air, are you? Interesting. Is this post or pre you fighting with Soji? Interesting.
Pray tell, what brings you to me?
A figure sat on the windowsill, staring out calmly to the night sky as he talked plainly to me. He wore no uniform and bore no familiarity to me. Was he one of the Ronin staying at the Ikeda Inn? What was he doing up here? This man appeared to have taken no part in the battle, basking in the bright moonlight as if he were above the fighting. I couldn't peel my eyes away from him. His aura was peculiar, but I was soothed by the coolness and solemnity of his demeanor. Not usually a feeling you associate with Kazama. Who are you? Side glance.
So you're the question master now, huh? Very interesting. Turn the mirror on yourself. Worry about where you are more than you're worried about me.
His words snapped me back into place. That's right, this person is an enemy. I reached my Kodachi instinctively.
Ooh, now that is a pretty little blade. You brought a Kodachi to a sword fight, huh?
Nice. I approve that line.
Wait a minute. Is that...
His eyes darted to my Kodachi, standing slowly while keeping his gaze fixed on my weapon. Okay, I was wondering if he was gonna recognize it immediately. Just then, the sliding door behind him flew open and a bloodied Ronin walked in. Hey, the Shinsengumi raided... He saw me and stopped his report. Who the hell are you? Are you an... enemy? You must be. Then you better die! He screamed and he swung his sword towards me. Before his katana could reach my head, a great roar came from the mysterious figure.
Silence!
Whoa! The mysterious figure charged the Ronin with one strike.
Didn't I tell you? You should be more concerned about yourself.
He was ruthless towards the Ronin. My voice quivered in fear as the air in the room grew still. Why? Isn't this Ronin your ally?
Well, he's not an ally. That's why I cut him loose.
He sheathed his sword gracefully, and I became amazed by his sense of self-possession. I attempted to capture him! I mean, that is the ultimate goal, but we'll do that in a more subtle kind of way. It's weird to thank him, because he didn't do it for us. But it might make him be like, huh? Which I want to see. This man is no Shinsengumi warrior. His purpose here was unknown to me. His eyes captivated all of my senses. Wow, she's already gone. She just looked at him and was like, that one. Staring into them drew me into a lucid hypnosis, filling me with doubt about if he was an enemy. He picked up on this, smirking discreetly. How do you smirk discreetly? Do you kind of like turn your head a bit, but you still hear the sound? Thank you.
Looks like you have some manners, despite being the Shinsengumi's bitch.
You insult me and then get a butterfly on your moon? Nah. He was mocking the Shinsengumi and me, but even still, I couldn't bring myself to argue against what he was saying. I mean, you know, he's right. So why did you save me? He ignored me, glancing instead to my Kodachi.
The Kodachi, does it belong to you?
Well, yes? His red eyes twinkled brightly against the soft moonlight refracting into the dimly lit room.
Then you can thank your Kodachi.
Huh?
My business here is done. You do whatever you want.
He winked slyly and took his time walking towards the window, jumping through without any hesitation or final words. Did he just tuxedo mask me? What? I ran over to the window, but there was no sign of his landing nor footprints. No way. Where did he go? Who was that? He's probably on the roof, above you, not on top of you. Not yet. He made it clear that he was not aligned with the Choshu Ronin, but why was he here? I stood there dumbfounded, and I sensed a presence stepping behind me very quietly. I inched my hand carefully towards my Kodachi to avoid any sudden movements from them. Oh, hi, Saito.
Yukimura! Are you alright?
Saito! Turned out to be Saito standing in front of me? Oh, yeah, I turned around. I thought he was at the Shikoku Inn with Hijikata. Ah, yeah. Thank goodness, reinforcements had arrived. Yeah, I'm okay. Oddly enough. Huh, so that's our first meeting. So did he not... He must have still injured Soji. Because that would have played out differently, that, like, recap spot. Interesting. So he recognized the Kodachi and then was like, okay, so you're a Yukimura. Interesting, I guess, So he didn't try to kidnap her right there. I guess he had to think about it, like, alright, I've got this information. Yukimura Demon Clan Princess is with the Shinsengumi. What does this mean? And he wasn't really fighting with the Ronin that were at the inn. He just happened to be there? I don't know. Okay. But man, she was just like hypnotized by him from the moment she met him. That's really funny. This time around anyway, usually she's like, I felt sick at heart and my body fell to the floor out of fear. I'm pretty sure I have to come, yes? Yes, definitely need to come. I gotta disobey orders from Toshi and stand there and look at him. I guess. That is what one does, is it not? When you see your boo and you're like, oh hi, it's you. That's so funny. I'm surprised we got, like, an actual picture there the first time we meet him. I wasn't expecting that. It's actually also been some time since I've come out with you guys here. We skipped through a lot of this stuff in the other routes, but had other, scenes and stuff to make up for it. Hi, Harada. That look. Okay, so... where do I go? I don't stay at the gate, I know that much. Mount Tenno, that's right. Okay, so I'm gonna be kind of like actively working against the Shinsengumi in this route to make sure Kazama stays alive and has less resistance than usual to deal with. Alright, to Mount Tenno. Let's go do this. Should probably start reading from here because we meet him before options start happening. There was no question. I would go with Hijikata and chase after Ronin heading for Mount Tenno. Despite Fushimi being quite a distance away, soldiers moved at a rapid pace. It was hard for me to keep up, and I was beginning to run short of breath when I saw... someone. He was standing in front of us, shadows obscuring his face and clothes, cloaked in a strange aura. Hijikata seemed to sense it too, and he motioned for the men to halt. The Shinsengumi stopped, save for one man who was either too excited or too foolish to heed the commander. Gah! I saw a momentary flash of steel as the man yelped.
Hey! What the hell is this? You okay?
The man just laid there unresponsive. I could see thick red blood already beginning to pool around him. Taken aback at first by the sudden attack, the men all turned now to glare at the stranger.
Ah, judging by those jackets, you're Shinsengumi. Huh. Acting like you're the 47 Ronin, huh? Boorish as always.
They were already on edge, but the man's words only made the men more agitated. I had heard from the men that they had their reasons for wearing their uniforms. They wanted desperately to pay the strange man back for his taunts and for attacking their brother, but they knew now was no time for revenge. Hijikata. As I spoke, I pointed to the man in front of us. He was at the Ikeda Inn. Hijikata's eyes narrowed, and I saw his lips pull back from his teeth just slightly. Just enough to show fangs.
First, you got in my way at Ikeda, and now you're all trying to play the good guy around here. So, the peasants haven't had their fill of defeat yet. Excuse me, you aren't even samurai, are you? I'd turn back if I were you. Unless you like the thought of coughing up blood like your friend over here.
As he spoke, I felt the air begin to thicken with the rage of the Shinsengumi.
You're the swordsman from Ikeda that beat Soji. I heard you were quite a swordsman, but... those are pretty big words from such a little man.
Hijikata's smile was anything but warm.
I'd heard you were talented for peasants, but this sorry display tells me it was all for show.
He laughed at the sight of the man he'd just slain.
That man from the inn. Okita, was it? Far too weak to be considered a real swordsman.
Hijikata's teeth was now almost completely bared. I knew Okita wasn't weak at all, and I wanted to tell him so, but it was true that he had been injured.
Insult Soji all you want, but how about you tell us why you killed this man first?
I heard the soft hiss of Nagakora's sword sliding from its scabbard. At his feet lay the man who'd been attacked, his face now an odd pale color. I wept for his spirit.
If I don't like what I hear, then I'm gonna kill you right here! To defend your warrior's pride. The Shogun says jump, and you say how high. Why are you pursuing men who've lost and fled the battlefield? Don't you know they've already fled from Mount Tenno to take their own lives?
What? Was he telling the truth? Did the Choshu men commit honorable suicide? I looked over at Hijikata and the rest of his men, but not one of them looked surprised. The man in front of us was trying to stop the Shinsengumi in an attempt to protect the pride of the Choshu samurai, which is what had upset him. From his point of view, I could see why he felt right in what he was doing, but that gave him no right to kill someone just to prove a point. Is it really alright to take a man's life for the sake of someone else's pride? Only you can protect your own pride. Letting others control the value of something important to you will only hurt you later on. How can someone keep their pride they expect someone else to fight for it?
Your sentiment has some truth to it. Are you saying I should simply allow the Shinsengumi to pilfer any pride the Choshu have left just to gain merit for arresting them?
He did not sound amused. No, that's not really what I meant, but... Under that crimson glare, my voice trailed off. Ahem.
Pathetic. I thought you were trying to make some kind of point, stranger, but you're just whining like a petulant child. This is war, you idiot! What?
The man spoke through clenched teeth, and the knuckles of his sword hand turned white.
They started a pointless fight, didn't have the balls to see it through, and then ran away with tails tucked. These cowards don't deserve honor. They're all spineless traitors. You think a man like that deserves an honorable death? They'll die with their goddamn guts and heads in the dirt. You mean to say they should have been prepared to die for their cause when they went for war? Any man who starts a fight he isn't willing to die for doesn't know what it means to be a warrior. Let's say they do have some scrap of pride left. Wouldn't dying in battle be better than dying on your own sword?
Hijikata's own concepts of pride and honor was not something he could easily compromise. No matter how long he and the stranger spoke, I also knew that they would never see eye to eye. Hijikata drew his sword from its scabbard, and I saw Nagakura drop into a fighting stance. Hijikata's eyes narrowed, and after muttering something angry under his breath, Nagakura stepped back and put his blade back in its sheath. You don't look like a coward to me, so I figure you're ready to finish what you started when you killed one of my men. Big words from a small man. Do you honestly believe you can defeat me? It's on. In an instant, their swords met, and the clang of metal reverberated through the mid-afternoon air. They sprang apart, eyes fixed on one another, and I saw Hijikata's hands tighten on his sword. The commander's swordsmanship seemed without a true rival, but this man had defeated Okita. Oh, there they go. I saw Nagakura reach for his own sword. He was to leap into the fight as well, probably hoping to help Hijikata gain the upper hand. When I saw him about to pounce, I couldn't help but scream, "Don't do it." No, Nagakura, you can't! This fight wasn't why the Shinsengumi came here. Hijikata's troops' mission was to follow the Choshu rebels to Mount Tenno. There could be no doubt that the strange swordsman was an enemy and a dangerous one. We might have needed our whole force to defeat him. Hijikata, however, would never let us abandon our mission out of fear of losing, especially after his speech. Nagakura could see this mysterious man was quite powerful, and after a few moments spent grinding his teeth, he took his hand off his sword. Hey, Hijikata. I'm gonna take your guys for a bit if that's alright with you. Huh, big mouth over here. They're yours, Shinpachi! The commander's eyes followed the swordsman, and his mouth curled into a predatory grin. Listen up, guys. We're gonna run straight for Mount Tenno. No stopping. The soldiers roared their assent. Damn you. Pay attention. I'll put a sword through your back as easily as your front. Hijikata was in a fighting stance and put himself between the troops and the man to avoid escape. Don't get in my way. He swung his sword, and Hijikata received it and was thrown back. Damn, that was an intense swing. Since there was a distance between Hijikata and himself, the man turned towards Nagakura. hold my place this time, because I haven't done this before. My knees locked up, so I drew my Kodachi out of defense. My swordsmanship won't be useful in battle, but I may be able to buy everyone time. I laid my hand on the handle of my sword. Oh. Big mistake, I guess. Next thing I knew, a high-pitched clang of metal clashed resoundingly, and I was on the floor. I was blindsided by the hit, and when my eyes were back into focus, I saw his blade pointed toward me and blood trickled down my face. What? Did I miss something? Did he slash my cheeks? There we go.
The Kodachi. Huh, a familiar sight indeed. Hey, do you realize what is happening? The wound on your face is already starting to heal.
Huh? This is... I slapped my cheek with my hand, but the cut had sealed. The pain ceased, but the blood stopped flowing. His crimson eyes widened. Okay, so he injured you a little bit to see if you are actually a demon. Ha! It's like, yeah, she is.
Who would have thought I'd meet another one of us here? And a female demon, no less. Tell me, girl, what is your name? And how did you come across this Kodachi?
I was gonna be like, man, Toshi's being very respectful, just kind of hanging back, listening to this conversation. Before I could answer, a dull clang of metal rang above us as Ichikata swung his sword from behind while the man parried it in front of me.
Get away from the kid! You bastard, stay out of my way!
I'm the one you're fighting! Or are you telling me you only use your sword on kids? Didn't take you for a bully.
How dare you, you shogunate bitch!
Yukimura, go on ahead! Oh, okay! Suddenly I was jolted with urgency and I started to dash away. Hijikata was right behind me, but I don't think he saw the cut on my face. It'll be alright. I'm sure of it. Demon. One of us. Everything he said rattled inside my head, but all I could do was run straight for Mount Tenno and never look back.